Hello everyone, I'm Xiaogang. Okay, we've actually finished writing it. Let's just take a look at the effect. For the details, you can download them from GitHub. After all, this is a course, and we've tried our best to compress it into about 10 to 12 sessions, each roughly 10 to 20 minutes long, covering such dense knowledge in just a few hours. There might be some aspects we can't fully address, so please feel free to speak up. And the microphone sometimes gets louder or quieter, because sometimes when I turn my head to look at the code, I'm not facing the microphone. I've adjusted the position of the microphone now, so it should be a bit better now. And here is our respawn in English, right? Actually, for this information, we can set a breakpoint here. After the breakpoint, we can just print it out directly. And when we print it here, we can just, this character is not a string. We need to do a simple concatenation. We mainly need to concatenate this response type. Okay, this type will actually change because we have the passage of time. Then here we put this src over here, just src. The other segments should be meaningless. Meaningless. We put it here. Then let's take a look at the effect. When we press 1, this effect appears. It has now succeeded. Right, now it's the streaming data. And then it's last file data. Now we key this file data. Let me think. It should be. Okay, this lesson, the content of this chapter is almost finished. You can see now, it's one sentence. So its streaming data keeps refreshing. And after we finish cutting, it's actually just one sentence. That is a complete piece of data. So when you write this voice effect, it will actually be quite impactful. Okay, let's stop here. Thank you all. No, we still have some details. Let's review the general content of this slide. Okay, here, if I press 2, it will turn off. All right. Okay, you'll notice here. Actually, why is there a question mark added? The reason for adding the question mark is we are waiting for the server to close. It is the last symbol sent by the server, such a symbol. Actually, you can just ignore it. Then, we need to. Next, we will show you. Let's take a look at our plugin. Whether some details have been properly handled, because this plugin of ours, actually, it supports Android, but you might. If you want to package for Android, then don't use deprecated, because on our end, there may be some missing information. Because if you go to GitHub, if you want to use it, just use a plugin from GitHub, because that plugin, although it's said to be test code, but it's test code that I will update and maintain. Use version 2.4. Don't use version 1.0. Version 1.0 is the most original. That's the code from the old video. That one won't be updated. Actually, we still need to emphasize this platform issue. Then, on our end, we'll handle the platform stuff. Here we have two modules, right? Let's add a field to this platform ID below here. Let's make it support only Android. Support the Windows packaging method. Because I haven't tested this Android version. I don't know if there will be any issues, but the version on our GitHub has been tested. It has no problem. You should use this one. After all, this is meant for everyone to learn. Okay, let's check it. We still remember what we talked about earlier. If you want to support blueprint packaging, actually some fields need to be set here. Obviously, we have set this up on our end. Okay, then next, we have something else to expand on for everyone, because this wasn't covered. That is what you are currently capturing is this. The microphones. But if you want to capture sound in the scene, then how would you do it? Actually, this code is from GitHub, the most original version. Back when we first started, we explained this to him, because we were also doing predictions at the time. And actually there is a ISubmixBufferListener through this thing. It can listen to the object sounds in the scene. And this thing must be based on an based on an actor. Then here is equivalent to us. During begin play, we get this eludeus by getting this out, this elude inside the G device. We register this ISubmixBufferListener. That's it. This thing must implement this interface. Then this place. After we register into it, then this interface, you see this flow, loud samples, loud channel. You can get this information about the audio in the scene. Of course, when we underplay, we also need to unregister it. So this method is a supplement that is to capture sounds in the scene. Sometimes you may have this need. Actually, we also have a component here, another component. As for this component, it is called the sync-compon component. This component is quite important. This component, so how do you create this component? You drag a compound in the editor, then you make it inherit from this, and this is called the comment. It can complete the synthesis of audio. That is, you can generate an electronic synthesized sound in the scene, and then use this method to give the sound. Copy it to this pointer, then it can play. But this is quite complex to use. You need to know about this. You can look into it later. This related module, you can see there are actually some modules here. You may not have seen them before. This single not possessing is this kind of processing method. And on this side, there are also some in this plugin. Everyone can also learn about this is at runtime, doing actual importator. And we also have, actually, there is one more thing I haven't mentioned to everyone. Maybe there is a U-based external network. There is also this thing. We can see this is from someone else's plugin. We don't care about that. We are mainly looking at this subsystem. Let's take a look. It should be here. Okay, here we have a piece of code. Don't look at this code in 5.4. It can no longer run. That's not quite accurate. I'll just explain the idea to you. It essentially takes the PCM data of the audio. You left the object tree out. You copy this thing to, it points to this PCM data of the audio. Then you set the corresponding parameters into it. So this is dynamically generated. This is called an audio object. Then one such issue is 5.4. Actually, this 5.4 now, it can no longer be used. So how do you handle it? You need to use this object. You need to use this object. We use this object. It definitely wants to strongly push using this object. As for this object, we can actually take a look. I usually put it into full screen. Okay, that's it. Let me find it. It should be him. We'll jump over there in a moment. Okay, it's him. He is specifically responsible for handling the elapsed time. If you want to do this kind of playback, you get the PCM composited one-screen data from Zhongfei, Volcano Engine, or Baidu. If you want to play it, you can use this object to do it. This is the correct way to do it. I estimate that after version 5.4, everything will have to be done through this. Use SoundOI5 procedure to do it. Okay, this part of the content, this content will just stop here for everyone. Okay, so this chapter ends here. In this last section, we expanded on some related knowledge. Okay, thank you everyone.